In an exclusive interview with our sister newspaper, The Sunday Guardian, Vice Admiral Sanjay Vatsayan, AVSM NM, who took charge as the 47th Vice Chief of Naval Staff, discussed the Indian Navy's constructive role in the Indo-Pacific region. The conversation focused on enabling partner navies to successfully perform their maritime responsibilities. This interview precedes the Indian Navy's Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue 2025, scheduled to begin on October 28th in New Delhi. The exclusive interviews explore how the theme of capacity building meets capability enhancement, which is being implemented in India's training and knowledge sharing initiatives, highlighting fascinating aspects of the Navy's approach. Sumit Peer, senior political commentator, CMD Dr. Shrikant B. Kisnoor, VSM retired, joining me on the broadcast. And now your opening comments to CMD Shrikant Kisnoor.
This is indeed a wonderful initiative because the IPRD is an outreach program that aims to marry Indian Navy's, broader theme of being the first responder and preferred security partner with the need to establish collaborative and cooperative mechanisms in the Indian Ocean, for which we seek to partner with other countries, other navies and other maritime forces in the region. So I think the initiative of IPRD itself is an excellent one, but overall what the Admiral is saying, this is a part of Navy's continuing endeavor, wherein we try and make sure that we are able to have excellent partnerships with all countries so that the common challenges that obtain in this region can be met, can be mitigated and can be resolved.
Commodore Kisnoor, now I want to understand from you, for the benefit of our viewers, that what does the phrase capacity building meets capability enhancement really mean? Could you explain that, please?
Capacity building very much in simple languages means that you are talking of aircraft, ships, by and large, the hardware or the elements, material elements, the logistics elements and the operational elements that help another country. So if, for example, you build a radar chain for another country, that is capacity building. Capability engagement means, on the other hand, you help those partner nations exploit and use whatever capacities that you have built. So you train them, you help them doctrinally, you do a whole lot of other things whereby they can maintain the capacities that you have built. Therefore, you need both. You need, to create certain infrastructure or help in infrastructure, but also to maintain, utilize them to the best of their capabilities, you need capability enhancement. So when we say capacity building meets capability enhancement, you are sort of promising a continuing relationship. The relationship doesn't end with giving one ship or one piece of hardware, but it goes on whereby they are able to harness that and they can leverage that capability to get very optimal outcomes.
All right, Commodore. Now I'm going across to Sumit Peer, who's a senior political commentator. Mr. Peer, what I want to ask you is, now, how is the Indian Navy translating this theme into real actionable cooperation with partner nations?
You see, ma'am, the vision comes from Prime Minister Modi, and if you see when Prime Minister Modi took office around 12-13 years back, Indian Navy came into prominence. There have been a lot of initiatives which have been lost from then. Bharat Mala, Sagar Mala, Gati Shakti, all of not related to Navy, but Mahasagar initiative, and then launching a satellite for the SAR countries. And constantly, if you see in the news per day, what we hear every few days, a new naval ship, a frigate, a destroyer, submarine is being inducted. The real strength of the Bharat lies in the Navy because they have a huge coastline, and it needed a lot of impetus and push. And Indian Ocean is our backyard, and anything what happens in Indian Ocean happens to us, by us. We are the people who are in command, and if we are the people who are in command, we don't have to be only guarding our coastlines, but we have to look at the Indian Ocean as such. So today, if you look at Seychelles, if you look at African countries, if you look at Mauritius, if you look at all the countries around that, we are not only the first responders, but we enable them, we train them, we coach them, we give them various platforms, we give them various trainings, and we do a lot of naval exercises now. One of the major exercises happening in a couple of days though. So, this all is under the initiative wherein we are telling the world, sending a message when it comes to Indian Ocean, go to us. It's not we don't own the ocean, but we are the de facto guardians of the ocean. And that is where the vision is reflected, where you kind of build the platforms, you train the people on the platforms, you give them access to the platforms, and you give some people patrol boats, you give them some to reconnaissance aircraft, you share intel with them, you share satellite imagery with them, and you help to control those drug traffickers, those pirates, and it's pretty down deep in Indian Ocean. And our Marcos are actually the best in the world. So, these are the kind of initiatives wherein people look up to you and they want to go through you than going directly into Indian Ocean. They want to hold your hand and rather going directly into Indian Ocean.
Mr. Peer, my second question to you is, how do regional navies with different resource levels benefit from India's training and knowledge sharing initiatives?
Indian Navy is today a pure blue water navy. It's rated in the top 3 or 4 navies of the world, definitely. And over the years, under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, the capabilities have increased substantially. Today, Navy is a force which our enemies shiver with. Our enemies are really, if you remember recently at INS Vikrant, Prime Minister Modi had a message for Pakistan, and Pakistan was shivering. Now, the question is that the friendly countries and the friendly navies around us, there are a lot of experiences we have in, managing these, for example, not only the coastline, but for example, minesweeping, for example, reconnaissance, for example, rescue, disaster management, offshore drilling, and some of very sophisticated weapons and techniques and SOPs which we use to guard our huge coastline. So if there is a friendly country, and we can some part of that knowledge with them, and combinedly what we could guard, the quantum of the fencing increases, the quantum of the gains increases. That is how these friendly navies come and work with us, wherein the objective is to guard the Indian Ocean and guard the mutual interest, have these international trade lines open, don't allow the choking of the trade lines, don't allow pirates and all to take over the sea lanes. That is how these countries are going to benefit from us. Because when it comes to machinery, experience, and the vastness of our coastline, I think in this region, we are the far best.